Hello top 11 managers around the world, welcome back to your channel Mamun Prefer Gaming Football. Mamun Prefer Gaming Football always provide top 11 content just to help top 11 managers around the world. Now if you are a true top 11 manager, true fan of top 11 2026, you should subscribe this channel because I always work hard only for you guys. Today I'm going to share you 5 important tips and tricks to play this amazing game top 11 2026. Tips and tricks number 5. Create defenders with right skills. Now, many of you are always focusing on the attackers. Even myself, I always focus on attackers, and I don't have enough time and resources to create the best defenders. We often neglect this position, but defenders seems to be very important these days, and you need to add right attributes to them because they save matches, they save goals, and they save matches. So their attribute is very important as well. As you can see, the white one, I'm not saying that gray attributes, the gray one is not important, but they're also important. The white attributes are more important than them. These days you need to have the white attributes, and also sometimes you need the gray attributes, but the white attributes are always more important than them. So for defenders, tackling, marking, positioning, heading, bravery, fitness, strength, aggression, everything is important, guys. Everything is important. Many of you think that you don't need physical. That's not right. You need also physical. But another important thing you need to look at among those white attributes, also guys, among those white attributes, you have some core attributes, which is called tackling, marking. For defender, tackling is the king. I mean, it's the number 1, and the number 2 is marking. And this is orderly, guys. Tackling is number 1 and marking is number 2. So tackling is just 153 for this player, which is not good. And that's why the player is struggling, the tackling of this player is not good, marking is not so good, the tackling is especially so low, and that is the reason why these players' stat is pretty low as well. I mean, the player often perform nearly 6, sometimes even it goes below 5 as well. Tips and tricks number 4. Train the team rightly. Many of you focus on individual player training, but training the team is very important, and training the team wrongly can also affect the whole team performance. So if you want your team perform well rather than a individual player, you will have to train your team rightly. Now, training your team properly, I mean rightly, doesn't mean you need to train your whole squad. Like in your squad, there can be 20 plus players. You don't really need to do that, guys. You don't really need to train those players. You need to train only your main 11. But if you have players who is in the substitution bench and he can join your team, after 45 minutes, or when you play a match, you substitute a lot, then you can train them as well. I mean, 7 players in your substitution bench, you can train them as well. So, 11 to 18 players you need to train. And, make sure you train them also rightly. 11 players separately you can train for getting sharpness, and the 7 player in your bench you can train to get the team play form. And once they get sharpness, your substitution bench player, you can move to the reserve bench player and you can simply train them alone for team play form only. So this way your main 11 will not be affected. Their condition will not be affected. You only lose maybe 6 to 8%, then maybe 90 plus. They're gonna remain 90 or 91, 92, something like that. This will help you to play a match immediately without spending any risk packs on your main 11. Tips and tricks number 3. Understand when to substitute players. You need to substitute a player at right time. I mean, it's very important, guys. For an example, if you look at the player on DMC role, the player is having yellow card. and I am changing the player when it is 90 minutes, and I'm gonna get separate time, guys, separate 20 minutes to play more, and that is gonna be very crunch moment. So in that time, guys, if you get a red card, I mean during these 20 minutes, if you get a red card, another yellow card to that player, you are gonna get a red card. So if you get a red card, you will be on the back foot. You're gonna be 10-man team, and the opponent will have benefit of it, so they can go all over you and score goal. Also, as a manager, you need to monitor your players. If you see their performance dropping so dramatically and they are below 6 or even more than that, I mean below 5 or nearly 5, you need to understand that the player will not perform well in future. I mean the remaining time he's not going to perform. So it is wise to change the player if you have enough substitution players. Tips and tricks number 2. Keep players fit in match and before match. Managing condition is very crucial to win matches, especially big matches. Now, if you look at my players, they are 99%, the maximum amount of condition you can have of a player. So they are 99% right now, and they reached to 99% 6 hours ago, guys. 6 hours ago, they reached to 99%. Now, after 6 hours later, it is still 99% because it cannot be more than that. I mean, the maximum amount is 99%. So now, the player sharpness, if you look at the player sharpness, it's not there. I mean, there is no player sharpness, there is no training yet. So in these 6 hours, the player added more 12% condition, but as the player is already 99, those 12% disappear. That was just waste. So it is wise for you to use the condition properly, understanding it, understanding the time as well. So if I could train 6 hours before, the player would have the sharpness and the condition would have also 99. And my training could have already done, but if I do it now, I will lose condition. To play a match straight away right now, I must use rest packs to fulfill their condition. But if I could do it 6 hours before, the player would have a proper condition to play a match right away. And tips and tricks number 1, sell players with low stat. Now, many of you, maybe you don't check your stat. Some of you do, but many of you do not check your stat, and there is a secret. If you keep checking your player stat, you will see that your player is performing well or not. Sometimes what happens, some of the players are not performing well. They are performing below 5, guys. Below 5 is not acceptable at this level. I mean, especially my level, it's high level, guys. And at this level, you cannot go with a player that is consistently performing low. For an example, this player consistently performing 6, sometime it goes below 5 as well, 4 even. So this player is not effective for his position. Technically, you are losing a match because of this player. So I am losing match because of this player. And if I change this player, if I sell this player and create another one rightly, then the lackings will not be there anymore, and for that position there will be less mistake and the overall performance will be increased. Similarly, you will have to focus on those players who are consistently performing below 6, so you will have to focus on these and you'll have to change those players.